Good morning, family and friends and fellow YouTubers. It's Kim here from Kim's Country Corner. And I did not wake up till, like, I think it was 11:30. Well, let's rephrase that. I did not get out of bed till like 11:30 because I have had a terrible migraine. Started in last night, about the same time the ice started in. And it still hasn't gone away, but I need to take some more medicine, either Excedrin migraine, or I have a prescription medicine I might end up taking. I keep all my prescriptions in this Ziploc bag so that little Emma can't get to it. So anyway, I can't decide whether I want to take my prescription migraine or just some Excedrin. I might start out with the Excedrin, and if it doesn't work, switch to my prescription, because my prescription makes me sleepy. So, and I don't really want to sleep all day. I'd like to kind of spend a little bit of time with you guys. So I think I'm going to start by taking some Excedrin. But before I take my medicine, I always like to eat, because if I don't, I get an upset stomach. But I have a little bit of an upset stomach because of the migraine. So I'm just going to stick with some simple cereal here. We love these great grains. And since it's just John and I, although Jeffrey loves this cereal too. So, but today it's just John and I, so I enjoy some great grains. And this kind does not have any kind of fruit in it. Sometimes we'll get the kind that has cranberries, and I really like that. But whenever I eat the ones, the kind that's called crunchy pecan, I just add some raisins to mine. So, yeah. Do y'all like my mug? This is I Heart My Mom. I love my mom. Katie Beth gave that to me one year for Christmas. Just perfect. I have to fill up the sugar bowl. Add a little bit of milk to my coffee. Cool it down a little bit. Usually, sometimes I use creamer, but the milk's handy and it'll cool it down, so. Alright. Alright, well, I'm going to eat my cereal, enjoy my cup of coffee, take my medicine. I'm going to try the Excedrin migraine so I don't sleep all day. And I will take you guys along on this day as much as I can. I am not sitting under my happy light right now because my happy light, although it works great for those sad days, if I'm having a migraine, the light just makes it more intense. So I cannot sit under my happy light right now. In fact, even the overhead kitchen lights are kind of throbbing my head. So I'll let you guys go for now, and we'll see what happens today. Okay, friends, so I thought I would just share with you the kind of weather we're having today. I don't know if you can tell or not, but that is ice on that tree. We've even had limbs come off. Look at that. Oh my goodness. It is bad. So I probably will not be taking you with me whenever I go to do the chickens. But yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but that is ice. Solid ice out there. Even on the grass we have little icicles. And then of course the wind is blowing. Can you all hear that tree? I mean, that is quite dangerous actually. So I probably will not be walking under the tree to get to the chicken house. And here's this one. Yeah. I mean, it's actually quite pretty. Mother Nature did make it pretty, but It's also very, very cold. Paulo, you need to go down to the basement and I will come feed you down there, okay? Yeah, I'm going to feed you in the basement today. Yeah, okay. I know. Go on. I'll meet you in the basement. I'll meet you in the basement. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, he says, now look, I'm coming in whether you like it or not. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Yes, the other cat, she doesn't like it when you're in here. Come on. And this is looking out the dining room window at the evergreens. We just got little icicles all over them. And the apple tree. Oh, I hate ice. I think I've told you guys that just about every time now. The ice does kind of make some pretty formations though. Look at the ice dripping off that handle. And then there's the bird bath. Can you all see how the ice is like dripping off the edge there? Yep, that's what everything looks like. My bird feeders fell down. They got blown off. Those lilac bushes are pretty down there. Not as pretty as if they were green and had flowers, but you know, you gotta take each season as it comes. Alright, you guys have probably seen enough ice. I know I have. Okay friends, so I'm going to take my chickens some water and some food. But I'm not taking you with me because it is too slick out there and I got to watch what I'm doing. But John said he would camcorder me going out. So you can see I'm actually doing this. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Should I take that salt and sprinkle it in front of me? Alright, so I'm going to take some salt and I'm going to sprinkle it as I walk. Everything is covered in ice. Even the grass is ice. Okay. Y'all see what Paulo has done? He's not a stupid dog, you guys. He has drug his bed right over to his food bowl. Alright, let's go get the kitty cat fed. There's the food bowl. Yep, I got your food down here today, Spikes. Yep. Yeah, are you ready for it? There you go. I don't know if my friends can see you or not. There she is. Sometimes I'll let her up later, but right now Squirm's up there and they don't get along. So I'll have to put Squirm in the bedroom before I can let her in. I give them both time though. Paulo! Here he comes. Now, yes, there you are. I know. What did you do here? Did you put your bed right next to your food bowl? Yeah, I gotta give you cat food today because I couldn't get over to the dog food. The door was frozen shut, so I gotta give you some cat food. But look what I did. Yes. Yeah, look what I did. Yeah, I snuck you some bacon. Yeah. So, yeah, you got it. On the days I can only give him cat food, I give him some bacon. Yeah, for some extra protein and extra fat. Yes, I do, because I love my baby. All right, I'm going to get you all some water. All right. All right, and Squirm has been fed and watered. She's already been into hers. I was just telling my friends that you've been fed and watered too, haven't you? Yes. All the animals are now done. Okay, friends, well, all the animals have been fed. My head is still hurting. But John, you know, with his cracked ribs, he just can't do that yet. Plus, I would not want him to chance falling again. Of course, I don't want to chance me falling either, but I'm a little bit better shape than he is at the moment. So, anyway, and I was telling you guys about all the beautiful afghans my mother crocheted. This is one of them. You see me bundled up in it quite often. Whenever I have one of my mom's afghans around me, it's like she's giving me a daily hug. That's what I think about. She's in heaven now, but her afghans are still here hugging me. Because you know, when you think about it, each one of these little stitches, you know, had her fingers on it, had her hands on it, you know, so it's like she's touching me still. So, that brings me to my afghan, which I had told you guys I'd been working on. And you're probably saying, well, she's no further along than she was before. Well, friends, that's because all of this yellow that you're seeing, I ripped out and redid. Remember when I was doing my Sunday rambling and I kept telling you guys something's not right here? You know, I'm doing something wrong. I was like, what am I doing wrong? Well, I didn't have my mother here to tell me, or my sister, so I went on YouTube. YouTube is so good for so many things. I mean, they're just so good. You gotta give it credit for what the platform is meant to be, and that is sharing ideas. So anyway, I went on YouTube and I looked up how to single crochet. And I figured out what my mistake was. I don't know why, but I was only wanting to go through one hoop instead of both of them. You know, instead of going under both of them, I was only wanting to go through the back one. And that's what was making me all off, because I was like, I know I was doing this faster, and I know that this was laying more even. I was like, what is it? And so then whenever I figured out what it was I was doing wrong, I just said, you know what, I'm just going to start all the yellows over, because I'm pretty sure it was just the yellows where I had made my mistake. The rest of them look fine. So yes, so I ripped out all the yellows and I have started over. So anyway, on to the good news. The good news is I know what I'm doing wrong, and I fixed it, and now I'm doing it the right way. And this is probably what I will be working on most of today, because my head hurts. So I doubt I'll be doing too much puzzle. And a lot of times if I have a headache, I can't even read because the words are all floaty and everything. But my crocheting, I can kind of do it without looking, except when it comes to counting the stitches. So we'll just see. We'll just have to see how it goes. But I'm going to try to get further along on it. Okay. But these are the magazines I am looking at the moment. I'm looking at my Burgess to see all the flowers. I don't order a whole lot of flowers because we have a really good nursery over in Quincy, Illinois. In fact, we have two really good nurseries over in Quincy, Illinois. And so I would rather go into a nursery and look at the plants and buy the plants knowing what they look like. And plus, in a nursery, you can oftentimes get a bigger size than what you can when you order them. But I still like to look and dream, you know. And there is one plant that we have to order, the tomato berries we order. And then I have my Murray McMurray, and I'm looking at maybe new chicks, maybe new ducks. You know, it doesn't hurt to dream. And then my brother got me a subscription to Birds and Blooms, and this is the one that he included in my present, so I've been looking through it. I've already read it, actually. I've read it cover to cover back when I felt better, and now I just kind of look at the pictures. So, yeah, I might try to look at magazines today if I don't have to do a lot of reading and I can just look at the pictures. So, and then I've been catching up on some YouTube. Lay down. You gonna lay down? I can't crochet if you're in my way, so you gotta lay down. Yeah. So I was gonna share with you guys that. Did that limb scare you too, huh? As I was sitting here crocheting, this huge, I heard this like explosive sound and cracking, and one of our neighbor's trees, and this is down the road, mind you, fell. I'm sitting here, I'm looking out well, I hear the sound, I look out the window, and this huge limb, not like the limbs I showed you off our trees, I mean a huge limb, fell off right into the middle of the road. And I'm just like, I'm so glad there wasn't a car going by at that time. Of course, we don't get much traffic, but I don't know how cars are going to get around that limb. It's big. This is a dangerous situation we're in right now. I know down where my brother lives, he lives in southern Missouri. He said that they had ice storm warnings, flood warnings, and tornado warnings all within like a three county radius there. It's crazy weather. But it is winter here in Missouri, so that's what we expect, isn't it, Squirm? Yeah. This is the nice thing I enjoy about winter, though, is just sitting around watching the wild birds, although I'm not watching them today because my bird feeders were knocked off the pole, and they don't have any bird food out there. And I don't feel like trudging out there to do that. My head just hurts too bad today. Anywho, sidetracked there. So I don't even know where I was at. What was I talking about? Oh, the joys of winter is sitting around watching the wild birds come in to feed, because you get a lot more of them in the winter time. Having Squirm on my lap, crocheting. Yeah, just this laid back feeling that you kind of get in winter. The downtime when you take it easy. Yes. I was going to share with y'all too that I was talking about my seasonal affective disorder the other day and how I use a light box to combat it. And I had one of my subscribers mention that where they're from, I think she's from Michigan, that they live on vitamin D3 up there. And I was going to say, yeah, I do down here too. I did not share that the other day, but I do. And my doctor has me on a 10,000 IUs prescriptions level. So these are 5,000 IUs. So I have to take 2 of these a day. And ever since he has put me on these vitamin D3s, I still have a tendency to get sad in the winter, but I don't get to the depression that I used to get. And I used to get really, really tired all the time. And I don't get near as tired as I used to. So if you are getting super tired and to the point of fatigue, exhaustion, where you can't even hardly move, and you're having mood swings, and especially like the depression, and there's other things that it helps, but I don't remember them all, but you might want to talk to your doctor about doing a vitamin D level. And because my doctor did one, and it really made a difference since he's put me on increased vitamin D. Now, Squirm, why didn't you tell me I was doing this crocheting wrong? Huh? Why didn't you help me out? Because you've been here the whole time. You were there the whole time. You could have said, look, you're doing that wrong. And then, yeah, and then I would not have had to rip out so many stitches. But, hey, I'm finally caught up where I'm at, and it looks looking good. I'm happy with it. Yes. So, yes. All right. Are you going to go to sleep, Paulo? You know, pretty soon you're going to have to go retire to the bedroom so that I can give Spice some loving. Don't you think Spice needs some loving too? Yeah, it would be nice if you two would get along. So I would show y'all that limb that fell across the road down there, but I don't know if the zoom will do, if you can see it. Because the other trees might be in the way too. Can you all see that big limb right there? Right there. Yeah, the trees are in the way. And then I also thought I would show you all the bird feeders with the icicles dripping off. There's one bird feeder and got blown sideways there. Here's the bigger one. And it does look like the bigger one has a little bit of food left in it. But I don't know if it's frozen or not. So yeah. If I was feeling better, I would go out there and fill up all the bird feeders. But my head just hurts too bad today. You know, as long as I've been sitting here, though, I have not seen a single bird even try to get a seed. I haven't seen a single bird visit any of the bird feeders. So I think they must be like huddled up in their nest. Because there haven't been any of those. And there haven't been any out here at these front window ones either. So I think they must be just hiding out in their nest. Like the rest of the world. Oh my goodness. So icy and yucky. And windy and cold. Oh my goodness, it's so cold. And the wind just, like, even though this house is well insulated, it's still just, you can hear it just blowing in. Look at those flowers down there behind the bird feeders. Well, they're not flowers, but they're seed heads covered in ice. Mother Nature is pretty no matter what the season is. Just harder to get around on the ice. Okay, guys, I thought I would share with you real quick that I decided to swap out kitty cats. Squirm is now in the bedroom, the master bedroom, where she can lay on the bed, look out the window. She's got her extra food, water, and litter box in there. And I now have Spice up here. So, and Spice is eating a snack out of my lap here. And I am eating a snack too. These are not the ones made with the banana. These are just regular old-fashioned oatmeal cookies. If you guys tried the ones with the bananas, let me know what you thought. I will have to admit, the first time I made them, they were a little bit better. The second time, not quite as good, but I think it's because I used too much oats. Anywho, one thing that John and I both realized about the banana ones is that you have to eat them within a day or two because they do not keep. The first day they were better, the second day they were acceptable, but that was it. By the third day they were done for because the banana had gotten bad. So they're okay, but you don't want to make very many because they're not good for storing. Whereas the old-fashioned oatmeal cookies, you can make as many of these as you want because these can even be frozen. So, but both John and I, we enjoy these oatmeal ones. And they are sort of healthy. I mean, true, they do have a little bit of sugar in them, but they have the raisins and the nuts and the oats. And yes, I'm trying to justify myself here. I know. Did you get all your snack eaten, huh? Yes, you did. So anyway, and then I also got me some hot tea because Spice and I are now going to watch a Netflix movie. Aren't we, Spice? Yes. We're going to watch The West. Ken Burns' The West. We're going to start it. Looks like it has 9 episodes, so I don't know if we'll get it finished. But I'm not sure that this is a documentary John would want to see anyway. He's more into like the war type documentaries like World War I, World War II. He also likes nature documentaries. So I'm going to go ahead and start this West one, The West. And if it's something he might enjoy watching, he'll come in and join me. And if it's not, then he won't. So anyway, but we're going to watch it, aren't we, Spice? Yeah. Okay, guys, so here's the documentary I'm going to watch. The West. And if John decides he wants to watch it with me, he'll come in. Look, it's part of my list. And look, so is Star Trek, and so is Twilight Zone. Because, yes, I am a nerd. I like things like that. Anywho, and I do watch movies, guys, but I usually watch movies like in the evenings and when my children are home, because I usually like go, oh, that's a good movie, but I'll wait until Katie's home. like the Bird Box. I want to watch it, but I'm going to wait for Katie. And then there's some, like the Bible one up there. But I'm like, I think I'll wait until Karen's over. So, yeah. But I do enjoy documentaries. And I do enjoy sci-fi. Anywho, I'm going to start watching TV now, so I will talk to y'all later.
To feed our shoats, our chickens are so very poor. They beg for crumbs outside our door. In Nebraska land never rains.
So John did join me for the documentary.
The West has always been, and will always be, a place where there's a struggle to survive, and where nature strikes heavy blows at you. But I think that's part of the West. That's geography. And I think part of that conquering of the West seeped into the American character. In many ways, the West has been a geography of hope for the country as a whole.
For 40 years, as Americans moved west, the western plains of Kansas, Nebraska, and the Dakotas were passed over. With better land available elsewhere, they were considered too dry for homesteading. But now, the hunger for land reached even into these inhospitable places. The railroads and the states outdid themselves to lure new settlers. Usually wet years in the West. The prairies, plowed and planted for the first time, yielded bumper crops.
Look, homesteading in its early days.
The plains might once have been desert-like, they said, but no longer. The climate itself, they promised, had changed for good. But as it turned out, rain did not follow the plow. The wet years came to an end. Many places on the high plains emptied just as quickly as they had filled with homesteaders. But some stubbornly hung on.
There's no question in my mind that the settlers are the real heroes. Yes, yes indeed. In this harsh country, much of it harsh and forbidding and demanding, tough country, the fact that people could go there and establish communities and make a living for themselves and build up societies, I think that was a real triumph.
In a year's time, a homesteader would encounter a catalog of meteorological disasters. In the springtime, there'd be the floods and the tornadoes that would make it difficult to get into the fields to plant a crop. Once the crop was planted, you might go for 6-8 weeks at a time when you thought there was no chance of anything happening like that at all.
We know about that, don't we?
At this time, fire could take it as the fire swept across the grasslands. Through the winter, it'd be a matter of surviving the cold. And then in spring,
we know about that too, don't we?
All over again. We look at these people sitting in front of their sod houses and we think, what squalor, living in a dirt house. We see women in maybe an elegant dress without shoes on. And we think, these people were poor. But what I see is pride. What they're really saying is, look how rich we are. We're stinking rich. Embarrassed by their situation. They're drenched in pride.
Ah, Nebraska land, sweet Nebraska land, upon thy burning soil I stand, and I look away across the plains, and I wonder why it never rains.
Yes, aren't we lucky to be in this nice warm home and not in a soddy.
What's remarkable to me is that they were singing and that they
Yes.
were laughing while.
Look, it's 5:45 and it's still
In its
daylight
present
outside.
form,
Or you can still
stock
see
raising on the
outside.
plains is doomed
Yay!
and can hardly outlast the century. And we who have felt the charm of the life.
Okay, friends. Well, this headache is not going away. I just know it's the weather. It's just pressing down on my head. That's what it feels like. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and call it a day and probably go ahead and take some of my prescription medicine. I've waited long enough. So I'm going to take my prescription medicine and watch my YouTube and probably end up falling asleep. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye now. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to know more about my corner of the world, please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it if you could share my videos. If you have one that you particularly like and enjoy, please hit that share button. And just thank you so much for being with me through this long, drawn-out winter. I will admit that I don't do a whole lot of sometimes I don't do a lot of homesteading. Sometimes I do. I mean, cooking and baking and, you know, my crocheting. You know, pioneers, they used to have to crochet their blankets. They couldn't just walk into Walmart and buy one. So, you know, I do try to keep my channel homesteading related, but sometimes I veer off a little bit during the winter. But anyway, I hope that you will continue to come back and visit with me, and I appreciate all of your support. Talk to y'all later. Bye for now.